This material is intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey there, fellow adventurers and lovers of the fantastical. Welcome back to Tipsy Geeks Unite, the podcast where we blend our passion for all things nerdy with a dash of spirited fun. I'm Tabii Cat.
And I'm Misskate. And together, we're here to ignite your imagination and quench your thirst for geeky goodness. Whether you're a seasoned wizard in the realm of gaming, a connoisseur of animated epics, or just someone who loves a good story, you're in for a treat.
So, grab your tankard of mead or your potion of choice and join us as we journey through the enchanted lands of video games, streaming sagas, and the vibrant tapestries of anime. We're diving deep into the realms of adult fandom.
From epic boss battles to the intricate plots of our favorite shows, we're here to dissect, discuss, and maybe disagree a little. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right?
So gear up, summon your courage, and let's embark on another thrilling episode of Tipsy Geeks Unite.
Raise your goblets to the heroes and heroines of our stories. And remember, the real magic happens when you embrace your inner geek.
All right, folks, what quest shall we embark on today?
Oh, Tabii. It's been a long time coming for this episode. I have been waiting so long to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. Dun, 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 dun. One of my all-time favorite animes. I absolutely adore this anime. It's one of my favorites. Top 5, I would say. I have a long list, but yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'll tell you why. But first, what are you drinking?
I am having a Morgan salted caramel Morgan liqueur.
Sure.
With some. It's called Mr. Black Coffee Liqueur, and it's less harsh than like Kahlua. Kind of upsets my stomach, and it is like the perfect amount of sugar. Like with the salted caramel liqueur, it's a little more sugar, but if you just have like straight black coffee liqueur, it's so good.
I'm gonna have to try it. I've never heard of either one of those. And granted, folks, it's 10 a.m. for me. It's in the morning for both of us, so we're drinking pretty early for you guys.
It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Technically.
Bucket. I mean, it's my weekend. I'm off. I worked my 40 hours. I'm out. Oh, nice. I'm going to have to look that up next time I go to the liquor store. Because I like Kahlua, but Kahlua is kind of meh.
It's cold brew coffee liqueur.
Oh, well, I'll make my sister do it. She's good at coffee things. I'll just be like, you try it and you tell me if I like it. Yeah, nice. That sounds good. I was gonna say, I was waiting for you to be like, an espresso martini. I was like, God damn it, Tab.
Basically, it's like morning. The only time I love espresso martinis, and it's like the only time of day you don't want to have. I don't know. I'm fucking over 30 years old. I don't want to have like an espresso martini at night when I'm home alone.
You know what? Fair. 100%. You know, yeah, we're in our 30s. Fuck it, dude. We're adults. We pick what we want at what time of day.
Yeah.
Who cares?
What are you drinking?
I made kind of like an espresso latte with some Baileys and a little bit of whiskey. I was like,
we're basically both having like espresso martinis, kind of.
Yeah, I used the Baileys for the sweetness so I don't have to add sugar to the coffee, and then I was like, it's not strong enough, so I put whiskey in it. It's delicious.
Always
though.
a good choice.
It's delicious. I don't give a fuck. I used to like Kahlua because I used to get White Russians a lot, but Kahlua, like you said, it kind of gives me tummy problems.
Yeah, it's really harsh on my digestion. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm old. I think Bailey's is easier on my stomach than Kahlua is.
Bailey's is easy on my stomach. Kahlua, like, if I have Kahlua in anything, I'm just like, well, I'm going to be shitting my brains out later sick. Not a vibe. Not a
My
fucking vibe.
old digestion now. I'm
Dudes,
so much more sensitive to
I
things.
know. I'm like telling my sister, man, like every time I go to the bathroom, like I feel like I broke my back. Just to go into the bathroom. She's all, dude, what'd you eat? And I'll tell her like I ate like spicy noodles or something, and she's like, damn, dude. But then
Yeah.
like she'll have if she eats certain things too, she's like, dude, my insides are destroyed. And I'm like, how did we eat this when we were young and we were fine? But now I even look at something and I'm like, well, I gotta go to the bathroom.
There's this Korean dish that's like my favorite. What is it called? Like, oh, it's teokbokki.
Tteokbokki?
Yeah. I used to eat it
Love
all the
tteokbokki.
time, and it's like one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
dishes. And then I got it recently because we have a Korean chicken place right
Ooh.
next to where I live, and they offer it. And so I get it, and then I have heartburn for like the first time ever, and I'm
Oh
like, this
no.
is the worst.
I used to love hot sauce on my eggs, and then I got COVID and now I can't eat eggs because it smells
No.
like fish to me and I don't like rotten fish. And so but I used to love hot sauce and now I can't have anything super vinegar based because it gives me indigestion. And that was never the case when I was young. The moment I got in my 30s, my body's like, we're in our 30s, time to fuck shit up.
Tragic.
Yeah, but
I love anything vinegar.
and like my spice level, I do blame moving to to England killed my spice tolerance, but I still eat a lot of tteokbokki. I make my own tteokbokki, but I cut down the gochujang and like the spice factor because it will fuck me up. But I will
Mm.
never give up tteokbokki. Tteokbokki for life, man.
I know. I tried to like when my roommate and I go to the Asian grocery store and get tteokbokki for like the kind that's in the frozen section,
hmm
and we just try to like both weaken the spice when we get home
Yeah, that's
and
what I
making it.
do. But you can also make different types of tteokbokki. Like it doesn't have to be spice based. You can make just a cheese base. You can make a garlic cheese. You can make like a honey cheese, garlic, ginger flavored. Like because when I went to the Korean spots in England, granted this it's probably fusion, but they would offer that because British people. No offense to you, British people, but y'all can't handle spice at all. um, but yeah, I fuck around with tteokbokki. I even put it in my ramen. Like I'll make some ramen with and then mix tteokbokki in it, and it's so fucking
Mm,
good. So good.
yummy.
Make some ramyun and tteokbokki and some like fried chicken.
Oh,
Shush.
now I really want some. I'm
Oh
hungry.
no, there's a Korean corn dog place nearby, and I've been eyeing it. I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
I love kimchi. I keep it. It's like something I
Yes,
regularly eat, and I look at it and I'm like, they have a kimchi filled Korean corn dog, and
I love kimchi.
I'm like, I will put you in my body. I want you in my body.
Oh, damn.
Oh, now I'm
I just
hungry.
ate breakfast and now I'm
I
hungry.
haven't eaten, and I'm about to go run errands later, so I might stop at and try a kimchi corn
Do
dog.
it.
Shit,
Yes,
they're expensive though. They're like 8-10 bucks for a fucking corn dog.
because they know they can do that.
Damn, they better be.
Everyone wants the Korean street food now.
It's fucking because, dude, Asian street food in general is just top tier.
Hmm.
We can't beat any other street food, and I've had tons of street food around the world, and Asians just fucking slaps, dude. Can't change my mind. Fight me. I will die on this hill. All right. So, we are talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm going to tell you why it's one of my favorites. So, I grew up with Asian cinema. Just being half Asian, I just grew up with it. It's my favorite thing to watch. It's pretty much all I watch now. And one of my favorite all-time movies as a kid was this movie called Onmyoji. And I forgot the name of the main character, the actor's name, but it also features a huge Hollywood and Asian Western cinema actor called his name's Hiroyuki Sanada, and he's like in John Wick, he's in Shogun, he's been in a lot of he's in the Avengers, like cameo, he's in a lot of films. And Onmyoji is about basically Japanese sorcerers. They use like astrology, things like that. And the main character is Abe no Seme. So Abe no Seme is, you know, folklore and like kind of historical in a sense, was a sorcerer. And he was one of the most powerful, most intelligent, most cunning, because he was half, it was rumored that his mother was a fox demon. And so that just led me down this road of, you know, Japanese mythology and folklore. I love yokai and all that, all the demons, curses, and sorcerers. And I have like this huge crush on Abe no Seme. Like, he's in a lot of video games. If you ever played Neo, Abe no Seme makes cameo in there. But it started off with the sorcerer thing. I really liked them. And then when I discovered Jujutsu Kaisen, I was like, oh shit. Like, this just fueled like my love for curses, demons. Even though there aren't really demons in this one, it's more on curses. But you have Abe no Seme, of course, is a white-haired sorcerer, and my favorite forever crush of a white-haired male is Satoru Gojo. And he reminds me a lot of, his personality reminds me a lot of Abe no Seme. He's very powerful, but he comes off kind of like cocky, stuck up, but he cares. And he's like morally, like, people find him, you know, Abe no Seme had no care for humans. He more focused on kind of like a balance, because he wouldn't kill curses or demons. Sometimes he would just be like, are they the problem? Or is it humans that are a problem? Because they stem from human, you know, emotions. And that's a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen, is curses they stem from human emotions. So that's kind of why I love Jujutsu Kaisen so much. It's just, it feeds into my love for Onmyoji and Abe no Seme. So fun fact, love that stuff. So Jujutsu Kaisen, in the first season, you are introduced to Yuji Itadori, who's this normal like kind of, you know, off the wall high schooler. And you know, he kind of gets sucked into this curse, and then Gojo Satoru, being the beauty that he is, you know, they start making these plans for, like, he's like, okay, this guy, there's something about this guy, right? And Gojo is one of the most powerful sorcerers in all of Sorcererland. Because he comes from a clan, and there's like 6 clans of sorcerers, and he has this ability where he can use positive and negative energy, like infinite energy. He can manipulate it, things like that. And his curse abilities are used through his eyes. That's why he's always blindfolded, because he has the infinite ability through his eyes. And so makes him just, I can go through everything that he can do, but we would be here for a very long time. So what we'll do is kind of focus on the main story. There will be spoilers. I will be dropping things from the manga, just because I've read a huge chunk. I haven't finished it, but I've read a lot of it, because again,
Spoilers.
So spoiler alerts. I'm no expert, so do not expect me to be an expert. I am selective of what interests me in Jujutsu Kaisen. I like it all, but there's some things that I kind of just like brush over because I don't care as much as other things. But so the first season, you see Gojo already has.
Can I ask a question before you go into this?
Sure.
Do you think is it pronounced Gege, the author, or JJ?
So it's not JJ. That would be more Korean. It's Gege. It's hard.
Gege.
Yeah.
So do you think that Gege based Gojo on Abe no Seme?
I'm not sure. I'm not a particularly huge fan of the author per se, because I mean, granted, he created this amazing universe, this story. But reading a lot of Twitter and some of the things on him, he hates the story. He hates the characters, and he's killing them all off. Well, killing
Why?
some. And to me, I
I
think
don't understand how an author can hate their work and characters and do that. But apparently it's more common than I thought.
it is, and I think it has to do with. And these are hot takes. These are my perspectives. I guess I wouldn't say hot takes. I guess they could be. But right now in the anime industry, it's grown so much. It's always been huge in the West, or in the East, excuse me, but it's grown significantly bigger in the West. So when I grew up watching anime as a kid, I've been watching it since I was a wee tot. That was something I liked anime more than I liked like Bugs Bunny and shit. And so over the years, anime has just, it's huge. I remember being in my undergrad and having to go to like, I had to pirate and like go to like really sketchy websites to watch anime. And now it's widespread. You can basically watch anything anywhere thanks to like Crunchyroll, Funimation, and all that. So it's grown a lot. And there was like a huge controversy on an anime called Solo Leveling. It's based on a manhwa. Manhwa, so you have manga, manhwa, and manhwa. So you have Korean, Chinese, Japanese. And manhwa, the Solo Leveling, is Korean. And it's this huge anime now. And it's phenomenal. Solo Leveling is fucking great. I really, really like it. It's in my top 10. It's a really fun one. But what happened is a lot. You have so many different types of anime. You have 2D, you have 3D, you have CGI, you have hand drawn, etc., etc. It's animation's just grown substantially, and so what happened with Jujutsu Kaisen, what happened with Solo Leveling, and of course other animes. I'm just going to focus on the ones that I know. Is that they work on them. Artists and animators work on them weekly. It's not like they set. I could be wrong. They don't just do it all in one, like a chunk of time, and then release it. Mm-hmm. That's my understanding. And Jujutsu Kaisen and Solo Leveling faced a lot of controversy with like voice actors being worked to death, artists being worked to death. Things were postponed.
Oh yeah, Mappa.
Mappa is one of the few studios. One of the studios that it works them to death. And a lot of people don't realize that in Asian culture, it doesn't matter if you're Japanese, Korean, Chinese, you're worked to death. That's it's a common thing. When you watch Japanese or Korean and some Chinese films, people will work almost 20 hours a day. And some people die because they're overworked, depressed, not, malnourished. That's just something that's known in Eastern culture. So my speculations about why the author for Jujutsu Kaisen hates his characters is I bet you he really enjoyed it, but over time the demand, everything just fucking exploded, that it took away his love and his passion from his hobby, possibly. And now he loathes it. And so I get that to a certain extent. Again, I don't know the full story. You read what's on media. Don't quote me. But I'm under the impression, and for right now, that the author I'm not particularly fond of. There's probably circumstances, like I said, I don't know. But yeah, it's just that kind of thing. And so another thing with Jujutsu Kaisen is that the main character is actually Yuji. But what character took over Jujutsu Kaisen is the side character, Gojo.
Gojo, yeah.
Because he's fucking beautiful. Let's just be real. And he's just, his personality and how he's portrayed is just, it just captivates you. He's the comic, I think he's the comic relief in such a very dark situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is actually very dark. Despite what people think. And I think that's another thing, too, is when people in the West started, when anime was being kind of introduced to them, they had like Pokemon, Digimon, things like that. So, it's just animes for kids, and Japanese have this thing for making kids very sexualized. I don't get it, but here we are. And so my perspective is Western people don't think anime has much depth. But now, like, if there's so much fucking anime out there, there's so much depth in anime. There's some dark fucking shit out there. Jujutsu Kaisen's very dark. Demon Slayer's pretty dark. Solo Leveling has its own darkness. I mean, I read a lot of yaoi manhwas, all that shit.
It's so much more complex than it used to be.
Yeah, it's not, because I remember watching Pokemon when I was a kid, and I was just like, oh yeah, Sailor Moon and shit like that. But there's a lot more to it now. So Jujutsu Kaisen, it took off. It's huge. It is absolutely, like, people think it's big here. In Japan, it's fucking insane. So when the movie came out and the second season cut out, Shibuya Station and the area in Tokyo, huge advertisements. I mean, they celebrate Gojo's birthday there, so it's massive. Yeah, it's huge. I love it. Okay. I think
I'm just gonna get my opinion out of the way because it's pretty straightforward. I do not like Gojo, and I did not like the series.
I figured you wouldn't, because it doesn't seem like, after you told me what kind of stuff you like, and I've watched some of the stuff that you like, I was like, she's gonna force herself through this.
I did force myself.
Because a lot of people in your community are like, oh, Tabii will like it. And I'm like, I know Tabii. She ain't gonna like it. But she's gonna do it for the sake of me and for the sake of the podcast. Like, I've watched some things.
We did it for you all.
Yeah, we did it, but I figured you would.
I held my tongue when I know there's so many fans that were watching it with me, and I held my tongue and I tried to be nice, and I just, maybe if I read the manga, I did not read the manga, but watching the seasons 1 and 2 and the movie, I just don't get the maybe I shouldn't be so harsh, but I just don't get it.
It's probably just not your cup of tea. It's the same thing for me. I have a lot of friends who love Dragon Ball Z and love One Piece. I can't stand either one of those. I will not watch them.
I love Dragon Ball, but I grew up with that, and it's very much like seeing your old friends still on TV.
I grew up with Dragon Ball. Me and my sister watched Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, and we watched it. I can't stand it. I can't stand One Piece. My sister likes One Piece. I have friends who are diehard One Piece fans. I have friends who like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, or whatever the fuck it's called. Can't stand it. Mm-hmm. I don't like Sailor Moon. I watched it as a kid. I used to pretend I was Sailor Venus when I was a kid. I fucking don't like Sailor Moon anymore. I can't even watch it. When I watch it, I'm like, ew. I was a kid. I've grown up. Don't like it. And there's a lot of anime that's out, like, right now. I have a lot of people who love, a big fandom is for an anime is My Hero Academia. I can't stand it. I can't fucking stand it.
Well, I think that's much more for, like, the younger crowd.
It's got dark shit in it. I have cousins who are my age or a little bit younger who love it. I can't stand it. I can't watch My Hero Academia. I can't do it. I'm
excited for you to watch Full Metal Alchemist, because I'm gonna make you watch it.
I'm gonna watch it since you put yourself through Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yay!
And you and I place, as soon as you finish your Dark Urge run in Baldur's Gate, I will watch Brotherhood.
Okay.
Deal. I will watch it all. I will binge it. I will drag JS through the fucking waters. I think he's actually already watched it. But no, there's a lot of big time anime that have deep fandoms that people fucking love that I refuse to touch with a 10-foot pole. So I get it. And I wouldn't say it's an acquired taste, but we have preferences. A lot of people don't like Demon Slayer. I love Demon Slayer. Why do I love it? I love demons. I love curses. I like martial arts and beautiful men. It fits what I like. What can I say? I love romance anime. I will watch the fuck out of romance anime. My thing is I don't like watching a lot of stuff with kids, and I know I'm a hypocrite because Demon Slayer has a lot of kids, but you get to watch the kids grow up. But different story. I didn't think you would like Jujutsu Kaisen. I remember when your chat was like, it's really good, Tabii's gonna like it, and I'm like, ain't no way Tabii's gonna fucking like it. I could place my fucking soul on it. She ain't gonna like it. But when you told me you were gonna watch it, I was like, You okay? All right. Good luck.
I'm I'm glad I watched it to see what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some characters where I'm like, I just wish you were in a different series or that you didn't die off. Like, totally had a crush on that Kokichi Muta guy because he's totally that kind of character I would have crush on. Um, but and like some of the other characters were okay, but uh
There's some characters in Jujutsu Kaisen that I'm like, please fuck off, and one of them is a main character. I so let me give you guys a brief overview. This is going to be a quick and dirty. So in the first in both seasons, but most we're going to start with the first season. Your focus is on Megumi, Yuji, and Nobara. They're the three first year students who Gojo takes under his wing, and Yuji is he is
the
going to be
quintessential main character.
yes,
Oh,
and
sorry, go
he's
ahead.
also, I mean, you're right, and he's also the vessel for the curse of the curse king Sukuna. And Sukuna is 1,000-year-old curse. Sukuna, who's quote unquote kind of like the most feared curse, used to be a sorcerer, and the underlying message of Jujutsu Kaisen is people are trying to fight these curses, but the curses, yes, are a problem, but the bigger issue are the sorcerers, because sorcerers first, like any kind of trope that you read, they're the problem. So the sorcerers start getting stronger and stronger, and then the power gets to their heads and shit gets corrupt. And so you learn the dilemma that goes through both seasons and the movie of Jujutsu Kaisen, and why I love Gojo is when you see the movie in the first season, you think, okay, Gojo is, he wants to kill curses. In the movie, which is the prequel to all of the first and second season, Gojo, as a teenager, hated being a sorcerer. He hated the school. He hated the clans. He was cocky, just a fucking brat because he's the most powerful. And he didn't want to help. He didn't want to kill. He didn't want to help humans. He thought they were weak. And his best friends is you have Setoru, and then you have Shoko. And like Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara, it was three. You have two guys, one girl, and they're going through high school, and they have these abilities. And Satoru or Geto, he's all about protecting humans, but you see Gojo and Seto or Geto change because Geto leaves he drops out of the sorcery school and teams up with the curses, and Gojo stays because he sees the good and he sees the bad, and Geto is kind of the same, but they're both morally gray in a sense. But so Geto basically adopts Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara, just like how Geto, and Shoko were adopted by Yaga. They're cultivated to become sorcerers, and they start seeing the different sides. And what I like about Gojo is he says fuck it to the higher ups of the sorcerer world, because they're corrupt. They're fucking, as long as there's curses, they're in business. They got money. They got power. And that's what Geto and a lot of other sorcerers who are not part of the society, but there's the sorcerers like Yuki, there's a couple others who are kind of like freelance sorcerers. So you kind of see this dilemma within the sorcerers as well as the curses. And it's the same thing with curses. There's curses who just want to be equal, and then there's curses who want to like take over the fucking world. So again, they both have their dilemmas. Who's the worst? I guess I think it's a personal opinion, but so people want to the curses want to bring Sukuna back, so curses can thrive and take over the world. Gojo wants to bring Sukuna back because he feels like Yuji's good, like Yuji's white and Sukuna's black, kind of like yin and yang, and if you bring them together you can create a balance. So Yuji's got this heart, Sukuna's just black, and fun fact, and this is a spoiler if you haven't read the manga, Sukuna actually turned full evil when he was a sorcerer 1,000 years ago. He wanted to gain more power so he can fight curses. He starts changing the curses, his powers and stuff. The curse, starts changing him, and then he falls in love, and she's killed, and then he just goes full fucking black, just starts killing anything and everything. And that's the thing about Sukuna, is curses think we bring the king of curses back. Not only will we dominate the human world, we'll be badasses, but Sukuna doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to fuck up everything. He's just like, fuck the world, fuck the system. It's done nothing for me. It just gives me power. And that's the thing, is a huge thing with the curses and the sorcerers. It's like they're blinded by this power, but so many people are collateral damage, and it starts taking its toll. And that's what you start seeing in the movie, the prequel, is Geto and Gojo are protecting this girl who's supposed to become the new vessel who holds down the seal for a huge part, for at least for a big chunk of Japan, right? And she gets killed, and like all this shit happens. And that's when you start seeing like the politics, which I like. I like the politics in it as well. So it's basically a pissing contest between both sides. I will say that. I still enjoy it because it's full of beautiful people. Now, when you are introduced to Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara, their first years, Megumi is basically Gojo's adopted son. And then he gets Yuji and Nobara. And here's my first hot take. One of the main characters I can't stand is Nobara. I fucking hate her with a fiery passion.
Really?
I cannot stand her character at fucking all.
I feel like I don't get, at least in the anime, you don't get to see Nobara and other characters enough to really make an assumption on if you like them or not. I feel like I don't get to see anyone, and I don't feel like I get to know any of the supposedly main characters besides Gojo and Geto. I feel like Geto got way too much screen time, and I hate him.
I love Geto. I think Geto, I found that I didn't lean on one side or the other, but I agreed with both what Gojo and Geto were doing. I love Geto. Geto, he's Gojo's best friend. He dies in kind of like the first part of season 2/movies by Yuta. Yuta is a big, he's going to be a big character. Now, I will say this, you need to read the manga. The manga, and this is a type of anime that's going to be kind of a long one, where you're going to start building, they show you the surface of the manga, but you need to read the manga to go into more depth, because it's just so huge. And I don't think they want to be like One Piece. One Piece is, I'm sorry, over 1,000 episodes. Ain't nobody got the time or investment like that anymore. And if you do, God bless you. You are a fucking saint. I'm the type of person, like, I'll watch up to, like, I think 10 seasons my maximum for an anime. It better be good for me to watch 10 seasons. But I feel like 8 seasons, like, the max. You should fit as much as you can into those. But that's my personal preference. You need to read the manga. I could tell you, once I started reading the manga, it just made me love it even more. It's the same thing with Demon Slayer. It's the same thing with Solo Leveling, and again, with a lot of other anime series, manga series that I've read. When you read it, it makes a lot of sense. Because I used to hate Maki, who's part of the second year students. And then when I read more about her, I was like, this bitch is a bad bitch. She is a fucking goat.
Yeah, I liked it more when they were focusing on the students more than the big bad. I liked getting to learn more about, like, the season 1 with the class, what would you call it? The class get together or whatever it was called. I liked getting to learn more about the other school and their students and stuff.
Yeah, so you have the Tokyo Jujutsu, and then you have Kyoto. And so they mix with Kyoto. It's kind of like rivalries. I always have a hard time pronouncing that word. I can't even talk right now. I'm so excited. No, I think the first season's great, and I love the second season. It took me such a long time to watch the second season because I knew what happened, and one of my favorite characters dies in the second season. But I get it, and I also get why they focus. They got to start off kind of like, here's this. It's the same things with a lot of anime. Your first season's usually like your introduction. Here's your people. And then it just starts changing up shit and going in deep towards later seasons. Fine. I personally like the second season over the first because sure, everyone's like, oh, it focuses a lot on Geto and Gojo. But the thing is Geto and Gojo are really highlighting the corruption of both sides. Like, Gojo's highlighting the corruption of kind of the sorcerers and the curses, and Geto's really bringing out, again, same thing, curses and the sorcerers. He finds these underdog kind of curses who want to take over, want to be equal, they want to be seen, they're tired of hiding. Some of them want world domination. Some of them just want to just be able to, like, exist. And Geto's, someone, his side, the sorcerers, it's like basically putting them in check. Like, sorcerers think they're all fucking badass. They're not. They're great, but they're not, like, omnipowerful. And the curses need to realize that, like, again, you may be badass, but you have weaknesses. And it's really highlighting that struggle between both and within. I personally like the second one better, again, because it's when you really see the darkness of what's going on. Like, what happens when you build these connections and they come crumbling. What happens with betrayal. The first one, again, is just kind of like, it's got some dark stuff in it, but
you're setting up the stage.
You're setting up the stage, right? I love Megami. He's one of my favorite characters. I like Yuji. I love Sukuna. I felt like if I was, like, in Sukuna's shoes, I would actually be even more evil, but that's a different story.
I do actually like the scene in season 2 where Sukuna finally comes out. I wish they would have shown Sukuna more, honestly, but
he's gonna be in a lot more in the future. Okay. When you read the manga, it's really, and it's the same thing with, like, Demon Slayer and a couple other animes that I watch, where it focuses a lot on the main ones, but then you start to know the main ones more, you learn about the side characters, and then when you learn more about the side characters, you kind of learn more about the dilemma. It's kind of like a slow burn in a sense. But you will definitely see Sukuna a lot more. You will definitely see a lot more of the second year, a lot of the Kyoto characters. You're gonna see a lot more because now, after the second season, they're hunting Yuji because they think that him and Gojo, and again, it shows you how fucking dumb the sorcerers are who blame Gojo and Yuji for the Shibuya incident when it wasn't their fucking fault. It was Geto, and they don't realize, and it shows you the ignorance of the sorcerers and also the ignorance of the curses. The sorcerers think that Gojo didn't kill Geto, but they didn't think the possibility that a sorcerer he was a sorcerer, became a curse, started taking over bodies. It's the brain that took over Geto, because you see Geto's soul still part of his body, like his body is still fighting the curse that's inhabited it. You see him fight when they trap Gojo in the box, and then you realize at the end of season 2 what's happening, and you also realize. So a lot of people, and this was all over Twitter, and I had to explain it to some people. So in season 2, you meet Yuji's brother, Chojo. And people are like, how the fuck? Those are false memories that Chojo is seeing of him and Yuji. And they are false memories. But Yuji and Chojo are related. Blood related. So what happened is, and again, this is manga. You kind of got to read the manga and, like, kind of know some of this stuff. And they might show this in the third season. Who knows? But Chojo was frozen for, like, 100 years. He's from an ancient blood clan who can manipulate blood. And the main villain who's in Geto's body, God, I forgot his name. We won't worry about so many names.
It's
I'm looking it up right now.
me too. I have the cast list open.
So do I. So do
Um,
I. What the fuck is his name? Choso, not Chozo. Choso. Sorry, guys. Choso, not Chojo. There's too many JoJos. Choso is he manipulates blood. He can
Kenjiku?
yeah, I think so. Again, I don't there's certain names I'm not going to know cuz there's just so many fucking factors. But anyways, the main villain who's in Geto's body is Choso and Yuji's father. So what happens is he inhibits the body. So Yuji's mother gave birth to the villain, we'll just say main villain, because Sukuna is not the main villain right now. Inhabited the father's body, got her pregnant, Yuji is bored. The main villain is Choso's mother. Inhabited the female's body, got a pregnant man with man. So they're half siblings. And this is kind of what this guy does is he's trying to make a better world, make them stronger because humans are so weak. So that's their relation. Yes, those were false memories that you see in act or season 2, but Choso knows more of what's going on and realizes that it's his brother. Choso is just bae. No one can make a man in pigtails sexy like Choso can. So I can't change my mind. But yeah, so there's a lot of things like a lot of people don't know. God, what's her name? Let me find her name. Utahime is rumored to be Gojo's kind of girlfriend. No one really knows her ability. She has a really good curse ability where she has to do a dance. She's kind of like a priestess. That's why you see her in priestess clothes. Where she does a dance and she can actually drain or increase the curse energy in a user's body. Pretty gangster as hell. So anyways, the curses fear and sorcerers fear Gojo. And Gojo's clan is the most powerful. I think he's the only one in his clan right now. So when he gets trapped, curse and sorcerers are like, we need to take over this opportunity because
oh my god, I can't believe the whole of season 2 and he's still in that stupid box.
He's gonna be in the box for a minute.
Oh, god damn it.
And it's crucial though because and he kind of knows this. He kind of plays this off because it allows him to showcase to the students and to a lot of people that how corrupt the sorcerers are. Mm-hmm. Because again, sorcerers want to take over. They want to like rule with an iron fucking thumb, whatever you call it, whatever that saying is.
Iron thumb.
I call it the thumb.
Iron fist.
Iron fist, thumb. I don't know. In this game they can just flip a finger and something happens. So it could be a thumb, it could be a fist, it could be a staff, it could be your toe. Who fucking knows, bro? Anyways, and just basically showing how corrupt, and that was Geto's thing when he joined the curses, was to show the corruption, because they saw when in the prequel when they're trying to save that girl who's supposed to become the new seal, the new vessel, how fucking corrupt the sorcerers are. And that's really what they're trying to showcase, because there's a lot of curses out there who are harmless. Like, if you look at Yuta, when you watch how Yuta became one of the most powerful sorcerers, his curse, the girl, she was harmless. She was just in love with Yuta and she protected him. And Geto and Gojo and a lot of other sorcerers believe that you can create harmony between both, because as long as humans exist, curses will exist. You can't eradicate curses. There's just no fucking way. And instead of trying to eradicate them like what the old school sorcerers want to do, create a balance, create some type of unity. you're not, of course, you're going to have bad curses versus good curses, and you're going to have bad sorcerers versus fucking good sorcerers. That's just yin. You always have yin and yang, essentially. And really, I really like that story is like showing the corruption, how to manipulate, and people think Gojo's just like this airhead character, but he's got a lot more depth to him. I'm not going to say a huge spoiler to what happens to Gojo, but if they get to that season from the manga, it's gonna fucking... I cried when I found out, and I'm still depressed about it to this day, but there's gonna be more deaths. A lot more people are going to die. Is it kind of Game of Thrones like? In a sense, yeah, but a lot of people are going to sacrifice themselves. And so, yes, the second season, and there's going to be a lot more seasons that are going to focus a lot on Gojo, but you're going to see even more seasons really highlighting Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara. They're going to be coming to fruition and become the next powerful trio, but also they're going to be changing the stage for sorcerers and curses, because
they're changing the system from the inside.
Because Yuji and Sukuna are basically one, and it's going to be a battle between both of them, essentially. I'm not going to spoil too much of it, because again, it's what I've read. But right now they're in their development stage, so you're going to see a lot of like flipping back to like the drama between those three versus the other sorcerers and things like that. You're going to see a lot, because some of them got to develop. Now you're going to focus on this group who are going to do shit, and then it's going to go back to this group. So while that group was fucking shit up, this group was getting stronger, yada yada yada. So it's going to do a lot of jumping around. But yeah, I honestly, a lot of people also don't really get how sorcerers can manipulate curses. Some are born with it, some get special tools. Like Maki has a sister who was born with the curse ability. She can use curse ability, but Maki can't. So she wears special glasses and uses cursed... She's an expert. She's like a weapons master, and she uses weapons that are filled with curse to kill curses. You have Toge, who has the ability to use the curse to speech, so that's why he speaks in like he goes Saki, or he says like different words, because if he actually says the words, they happen. And then you have Panda, who's he's a cursed... he's basically a reanimated corpse
in a stuffed panda.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I wish we could have learned more about...
You do. You do.
Okay.
You do. You learn a lot more about the second year students from Kyoto. Like Miwa, Todo, Nishimiya, Kamo. You learn more about them. I love Todo and Yuji's like brotherly shit. My brother. I fucking love Todo. He's such a G. And then you meet other jujutsu sorcerers who are kind of freelance sorcerers. They left the academy, the society, but they're still jujutsu sorcerers. And one of my favorites is Nanami. Love Nanami.
But, well, I have no more reason to live because he died. Or maybe he didn't.
No, he did. He did his fried chicken, bro.
Damn it.
He did his fried chicken. Yeah. And again, it shows...
So hot.
Dude, he's so hot. It shows a lot of the corruption and the collateral damage. You see Nanami's on the good side of kind of like the freelance sorcerers because he cares. He just hates how the Jujutsu Kaisen sorcerers are running things. That's why he leaves. Yuki's one that's left. Mei's a freelancer, but Mei is a very interesting character. I remember when I watched season 2 with JS, he's like, what the fuck is her deal? So when you read in the manga, she's a grade 1, one of the top tier sorcerers, but she's very selfish. And it's because she loves money. She wants to be powerful. She wants to be better and more seen than Gojo. She wants the fame. She's obsessed with being just in the spotlight. And of course, in season 2, you see a lot of other sorcerers who are like capitalizing on the fact that Gojo's been captured, because Gojo's always been in the light, and it's because he is stupid fucking powerful. But they don't realize what these sorcerers and these curses don't fucking realize, that you guys need Gojo and you need Yuji, and now the whole entire system is against Yuji and Gojo. But they're like, you're gonna fucking need them, because now that Sukuna is almost basically at full power, y'all gonna fuck around and find out, and you're gonna need the most powerful to fucking take that bitch down, because he is just a G. He is stupid power, and again, it goes to their ignorance and their arrogance. So yeah, so you get introduced in the second season to a lot of the sorcerers who are corrupt, who have left the sorcerer kind of side, and they're kind of just neutral or in the middle. They just do whatever convenient for them. It's the same thing with some of the curses. Some of them are like, I want a better world for us, and some of them are like, let's destroy it. And then you see that a powerful curse destroys and manipulates the other curses to get what he wants, and that's what you see at the end of season 2. Because everyone thought, oh, Mahito's like the big bad, and then he ends up getting fucking used and abused for the old. Yeah, he's kind of a fun.
I hate him. You're supposed to hate him.
Yeah, you're supposed to hate the motherfucker, and in all fairness, I hate the motherfucker. And then again, yeah, Kenjaku's the big bad. Kenjaku. So, and the thing is Kenjaku is trying to use the whole thing because he wants to overpower Sukuna. And Sukuna's kind of like... Sukuna's playing it up with Urayume, who's from his past as well. Because Kenjaku thinks he's got, like, he's got everyone under his thumb, but he don't realize that Sukuna... He's not as powerful as Sukuna. Sukuna's gonna fuck him up. It's just so much. Yeah, I mean, it would take us like a couple of episodes to cover everything, but really, that's kind of the basis of everything. So everything is coming to light of the corruption and the fucked up shit, and it's just going to be a huge cataclysmic fucking battle. Which, again, is a normal anime kind of trope, which I love, is shit's gonna hit the fan, these people are thrown into the fucking mess, and they gotta make the best of it. They gotta figure out how to clean it up. And so, I kind of skipped over a lot of the cursed abilities in some of the main characters. Like, we did touch on Maki and Toge and Panda and Yuta. We touched base on Gojo. Geto has the ability to swallow kind of like the souls or the cores of curses, and he kind of stores them like an archive. And they taste like shit, as he says in his prequel. Then you have Megumi, who can basically summon familiars, and turns out to be from one of the most, like, the second most powerful clan. And then you have Nobara, and excuse my ignorance with her, but she manipulates, all I can see is she manipulates a hammer and nails, and that's as far as I care to know about her.
I feel like the author made such complex powers. It takes like 5 minutes for the narrator to describe all these abilities in the anime.
And that's the thing, is like, it's not just like one ability, right? And Gojo kind of represents a lot of what Abe no Seimei can do, but just heightened. Megumi, because there's a lot more complexity to what people think of Japanese folklore, what Japanese think, like what people think a sorcerer can do. Like, oh, can he wield fire and elements? Like, no, there's more to that. Curses are complex, and curses are based on kind of what's manifested in those human emotions. So you have bug types, you have water types, you have the fire types, but then you have shapeshifters, and you have, like, there's a lot more to it than, again, a lot of this is black and white, but there's a lot of gray area, and that's what I like. And sure, it takes some time, but it's nice to have that. It's nice to see. You have blood manipulation, weapon curses, speech, possess things, shadow, light, fucking, you got it all. Because we tend to forget that there's a lot more powers and abilities than like the elements, than water, rain, ice, shit like that. You know, there's teleportation, there's like, and some of it's wild, like the character from season 2, Nobito Zenin is basically, he does everything frame per second, and which makes him very fast. Like that's an oddball one, but like I just like the way it's described. And so there's another sorcerer who can uses music, and he plays a fucking guitar. It's wild, but it makes sense on how it's described, and it just shows you the complexity of what these cursed users and abilities that are out there, which I like. It adds a little bit more flavor than like he wields fire and ice and lightning. Like, oh,
they're very unique.
Like, you know, and I read a lot of fantasy, and you know, like I read a lot like, oh, he can manipulate water. It's like, proud of you. So another thing that sorcerers and curses have the ability to do is create domains. And then each domain...
Oh, yeah. I don't understand this domain shit.
You don't
explain it to me?
Yes, I can explain domains to you, my good fellow podcast host. So domains are kind of like... Okay, let me figure out an easy way to explain it.
It's like infinite domain.
So your domain is based on your curse. So we'll look at Gojo's. Gojo's domain allows him to create like, it's like a mind barrier kind of thing. Like what his does is the longer you spend in his domain, the more you lose your mind and you just die. Because he has the ability to control negative and positive energy. He's infinite. That's also, like, he can rewrite energy. He's rewriting energy every moment of his life. And, you know, you see him using purple, red, and blue and things like that. He can make a shield where no one can touch him. Things like, it's because he can manipulate energy. He's like a fucking Jedi on crack. And so these domains are like kind of like they're shield buffs, essentially, I guess is kind of an easy way to say it, is they create these areas, these boundaries that traps people in them, and it heightens their abilities, makes them like basically boosts their stats, let's just say, if we're talking D&D style. And again, like Gojo's, the longer you stay in it, the more you're just gonna lose your fucking mind. There's other ability, like other domains where you're in there, it traps you and it sucks your life, or it makes you bleed, or things like that. And so the more powerful of a curse or a sorcery you are, kind of the more powerful your domain is. Another thing that's in the do domains make sense to you, Tabii?
Not really, but it's stuff I can't really comprehend.
It's like expanding your curse ability and making
kind of like
a bubble.
Like Dragon Balls, like just infinite power upgrades.
Yeah, like but it's limited. So it's limited because, like you see with curses and with sorcerers, they have all this power, but they're limited. It's like mana. They have so much mana that they can use. So the more they use their domains or their abilities, like you see Megumi's, like in season 2, he's used so much that he's almost strained. It's the same thing with a lot of the other sorcerers. Now, the thing that makes Gojo so powerful is that it's infinite. He's infinite because he can rewrite, reuse, manipulate energy. So he is infinite. So the domains, like if I had a domain, I would cast domain, and maybe my domain is that I make people hallucinate. And so they see 100 of me. But I can only do it when I cast domain. And it's basically you're casting, like, I guess you're like casting a bubble.
Like a spell.
Yeah, you're casting like a magic bubble that entraps people in it. And you can do whatever your ability is, it's in that bubble. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So think of it when you cast Sanctuary in Baldur's Gate. Like people cast darkness, and anyone in that darkness is blind. And the moment you leave, you're not blind. Now the thing with domain is you can't really leave. You have to you have to hit the person who casts domain to like possibly break the domain, because once you're in the domain, you fucked, unless that the caster was like, okay, bye domain, like uncast their domain. Does that make sense? Is it making a little bit more sense to you?
It's making a little bit more sense. Like, when it comes to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, or just the Full Metal Alchemist series in general, it's just the basic power structure is the law of equivalent exchange, so that whenever there's an action scene, it's like you can't put out more
Mm-hmm.
than what you're using to manipulate things. So makes so much more sense to me when I can just like follow a fight scene without it having being explained to me by a narrator. It's like
Mm.
it's so much more like understandable to me than this.
I like it. Like newer animes have been doing that, because I know Brotherhood's a lot older. So okay, so let me clear up domains for you. Okay, so a domain expansion is basically a manifestation of the user's power, abilities, and personality that exists within their mind. So it's an extension of their mindscape. You follow me so far?
Mm-hmm.
The domain is not, it cannot be usually, it's not seen by like casual people, like normal people. You gotta be able to manipulate curse and stuff to understand like to see the domain. So like when the humans were caught in Gojo's domain in Shibuya, they didn't know what the fuck was going on, but the curses were like, oh shit, homie just pop this. So it just depends on your level of curse manipulation. But basically, once they can use their cursed energy properly, the domain can manifest inside them. So again, it's their mindscape. So again, it's their ability to expand their cursed ability based on, again, their mental abilities, their powers, and their personality. Another thing too about domain is it requires a large amount of curse energy and the ability to actually control it. If you can't control your domain, it's fucked. And so only top tier sorcerers and cursed users can use domains, because it's extremely difficult, because you're basically regurgitating this curse energy, whatever, and if you can't control it, it just consumes and just it becomes chaotic. Once you're able to control your domain, you can impose your own rules of what happens in it. So it's like a barrier. So it's the domain is a mindscape, but it's also a barrier technique. So you can also create it to where people outside of the domain are not affected of the fucked up shit you're about to do in that barrier. Follow me so far?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's, again, the more powerful you are, the more powerful your domain, the more powerful you can control it, and the things that and the rules and stuff that you can implement into it. You can force your rules on them. You can it also allows you to increase your curse abilities within the domain. It's like increasing your crit attacks, if that makes sense. You're in my domain, my crit attack goes up, my damage goes up. So that's basically what a domain is. So hopefully that makes sense to you more now.
Okay, yeah, you explained it a lot better than the series does for me. It's so confusing.
It can be a lot. I had to read up on it in the manga and stuff just to kind of grasp it. And then you have what's called a veil. So you'll see like the supervisors of Jujutsu put a veil. The veil is kind of like a domain, but there's no what the veil does is it just creates a barrier, so people can't go in, people can't leave. All the damage is contained within said veil. So the veil is like a basic version of a domain expansion.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I need like a class to learn about this series.
I mean, I could break it down to you. We'll be here for another 2 hours. But yeah. It's more of just, once you understand how they can use curses, how they can manipulate it, the more it makes sense to you. Because I can guarantee you, if I watched, like, I still don't get One Piece. What's the fuck? what Luffy is his name? Luffy. I don't get why he's a rubber band boy, but it's apparently to some fruit.
He ate the gum fruit.
I don't fucking get it. I think it's dumb, but here we are. And One Piece people can fucking hate me for it. It is what it is. I think it's dumb, but here we are. I read a lot of questionable shit, but again, here we are. It's beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
So true.
So yeah, that's domain expansion and kind of curse energy. Again, the curse energy and like how you get, some people are born with curse energy. It's based on your clan, your personality. It's not like you wake up and you pick what you want. And so those who aren't born with cursed energy, like the ability to use curse, they can like be introduced to a curse that may want to bond with you. And again, it's based on the curse. That could happen as well. So it's kind of like what bonds with you, what meshes with you. It's like you don't get to wake up and say, this curse energy, I want it to, I don't know, teleport me. Like, that's not going to happen. You get what you fucking get based on your ability, what level you're at, do you bond with it, and if you're reborn with it, is it passed down through your clan, that kind of thing. So that's kind of like the structure of curses, manipulations, energy users, etc. in a nutshell. Again, it's a lot more complex than people think.
It's very complex.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching Demon Slayer, I was like, what the fuck? This shit's basic, and then it gets more in depth, and I was just like, well, now I'm lost. But I liked it because it actually added more depth, because I'm like, these people are basic as fuck. And then I was like, never mind, I take it all back. Take it all back. So, what other questions you got for me?
How did you like the voice cast?
Phenomenal.
Because I know there was some heavy hitters in the Japanese.
I only know Japanese. I don't know English.
I know. That's why I ask about the Japanese.
I love the Japanese. The voice actor that let me get his name for Nanami is actually also the Japanese voice actor for the Yakuza, the how to be a house husband. I don't think you've.
Oh, the Netflix show.
Yeah.
The comic. Yeah, I know that one.
He's a big heavy hitter in the Japanese voice acting world. He's one of my favorites. I'm trying to get his name. His name is Kinjiro Suda. Fucking G. He's voiced a lot of big time. I'll name some of them. If anyone's played Shin Megami Tensei, he is Hayao. Hayao. I'm sorry, some of my Japanese pronunciation's not on point. He's also in what's another big one? He's in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. He plays Dane.
Oh, Fredo Kaiba.
Yeah, he's also, I love Grand Blue Fantasy Relay. He plays Id, who's Bei, another white-haired looker. He's in Naruto. He plays Jingen and Ishiki. Let's see, what other big time. If anyone's ever watched Tower of God, he's Lero? My pronunciation of like white people names. In the Japanese version of Resident Evil 4, he plays Luis.
Okay.
If you ever watched or played Fire Emblem Engage, he's Gris or in Gregory. He's in Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the Japanese version. He's Ripperdoc. He's also in the One Piece film. He plays Red. He's in Yu-Gi-Oh!, Full Metal Alchemist Mobile.
Who did he play Mobile?
Maze Hughes.
Oh, he played Hugh? Okay.
Yeah, Japanese version. If you ever watch Inu-Oh, he's Inu-Oh's father. That's a Japanese musical. Fucking awesome. Weird as shit, but fucking awesome. Awesome.
Awesomal and awesome in one word.
Another really great anime that I know you wouldn't like to watch, it's because it's an isekai, is Shukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. He plays Shiki. He's also in Way of the House Husband. He plays Tatsu. Monster Hunter Rise. He plays Tadori. He's in Seven Deadly Sins. Oh shit, he's an Octopath. Let's go. He's in Fairy Tale, Food Wars.
When you watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you have to watch the English voices.
Okay, that's just mean. That's just mean, dude.
No, you have to.
That's mean.
The English cast is better than the Japanese. Don't hate me.
So also, this guy is also the voice actor in Sekiro for Genichiro. He is the voice actor for Genichiro in Sekiro. Fuck yeah, bro.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. For the if you play it in Japanese, which I hope people do because it's good in Japanese. Did. Oh shit, he's in Devilman Crybaby, another banger. Yeah, he's in a lot of like just straight up good ones. Just a lot of questionable ones, but hey, you gotta make a buck, you make a buck.
Right.
What I loved about Kinjiro Suta is that he really gets into his characters, and I follow him on Instagram and Twitter, and when he was recording the lines for Nanami, when Nanami dies, he was crying, and it just broke him up. Oh. And I was just like, it
broke me up too.
Oh god, I knew he was gonna die because I watched the video of Kinjiro, kind of telling how he really loved this character, how he loved the story, what it felt like when he knew that his character was going to die, and like he was recording that scene. I knew he was going to die before I even watched the second season. And when it came on, and I remember JS was just like, I was bawling. Even my roommate was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm watching anime." I fucking cried so hard. I wept like a little bitch, and I am not ashamed of it at all. It was just, so good. He's an amazing voice actor, one of my favorites. The voice actor for Gojo is Yuichi Nakamura. He's in a lot of big ones. He's in Fairy Tale. He's also in Metaphor, which is a new game that's come out that I really want to fucking play.
Oh yeah, me too.
He's in I'm just gonna name off the ones that I actually care about. He's in Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, if you guys like Yakuza games. He's in Goblin Slayer. Oh, he's the voice of Andy in Undead Unluck, another great anime that you would not like. He's also does the voice acting. He's in Full Alchemist Mobile as well. He does Greed.
Okay.
He's in Spy Family, which is another fun anime. Fruit Basket, if anyone's watched Fruit Basket. Final Fantasy 14. Let's see what else. My Hero Academia, no one gives a fuck about in this house. He's in Record of Ragnarok. That's a good one. He's Shaka. Nice. Love that show. Dr. Stone Wars, or Stone and Stone Wars. He's an Octopath as well. Sheesh. Food Wars, of course. He's also in Goblin Slayer. Shocking. Goblin Slayer is a hit or miss. I'm just gonna say you wouldn't like it. Definitely don't watch it.
I already know why I wouldn't like it. I've already seen analysis videos about it. I just like to watch analysis videos for anime I have never watched.
That's fair.
I never plan to watch.
That's perfectly fine. He's also in Tokyo Ghoul. It's a great anime. Xenoblade Chronicles, never played those, but I want to. Oh shit, he's in The Great Ace Attorney. Those are great games. Excuse me. He's in a lot of Fire Emblem, which I'm a fan of. Love me some JRPGs, baby. Berserk. Oh shit, he's in Berserk. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, he's in a lot. He's, again, one of my favorites. I mean, he voices Gojo, and Gojo's just bae. But yeah, I thought the Japanese voice acting was really, really, really fucking good. They really highlighted emotion, and not just negative emotion, but positive emotion. They really brought the characters to life. That's also why I really, really, really love Jujutsu Kaisen, because the characters don't feel like, even though it's anime, it doesn't feel like that. Like, I felt very connected to a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love Jujutsu. Like, I just felt very connected to them. Same thing with like Demon Slayer. Solo Leveling I just watch because it's pretty and it's fun and it's badass and it's like fulfills a fantasy. That's why I love isekais, because I want to be reborn in a story so I can be a fucking badass. Um, oh, he's in Full Alchemist to the Promised Day. He plays Greed. Interesting. But yeah, a lot of good voice acting. I can't comment on English. I don't watch it in English. I refuse. Once I've heard it in Japanese, I'm like, no, English would kill my ovary overload, so we're just gonna leave it in Japanese.
I thought the English did a very good job.
It
I
has
didn't
won
think it was
awards. The English
I
voice
didn't.
actors have won awards for Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mhm. I didn't watch it in Japanese, so I have no comparison with the Japanese, but I totally get it if the Japanese was better. I'm not going to like harp on it like I would for Full Metal Alchemist. I
Um,
think the batteries in my Xbox controller exploded. Ooh,
uh-oh. Man
uh-oh.
down. Controller down.
I know, I just noticed it right now.
But yeah, I mean, that kind of sums up a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen. I know we didn't really cover the story, but the story itself is just like curses and sorcerers battle each other. There's political turmoil, there's corruption, betrayal, people learning and growing. Your classic tropes.
Yeah, all you need to know about the story is curses. That's one
And
word covers it.
sorcerers, and sorcerers, two
And
words.
sorcerers, two words.
Um, there's a lot more complexity to it as you read. I recommend reading the manga if you want to learn more about kind of the behind the scenes per se of the anime. I can't wait for the movies to come out next year. I'm probably gonna cry my fucking eyes off. But I don't. Anime has a lot of like teenagers and kids in it, and a lot of them are like sexualized. And what I appreciate about Jujutsu Kaisen is they don't really sexualize the characters as much as like other ones. Even Demon Slayer sexualizes the younger sister who's is like a demon. Like she's sexualized. And I like that they show that the growth that these characters have, because when you read the manga, the first year and second year students later down the road become adults and you see them develop into adults. You don't see that in a lot of anime where the characters actually are like, okay, I'm 16 and then like 10 years later I'm a fucking man. Like they still look like they're 16. In Jujutsu Kaisen, that's not the case. So I just I really appreciate it. I also feel that again, it fulfills my love for Japanese folklore and mythology. I think I like that it's a modern take. Usually most anime I watch is set in like ancient times. So for this to be modern and catch my attention it's very rare. So yeah, any questions, anything I can clear up for you, Tabii? I know you didn't really enjoy it, and I appreciate you watching it. It is my favorite anime. I will definitely get you back with some Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I'll watch it in fucking English.
I'm so excited. The sacrifice was so worth it if that happens.
It is going to happen, not if. It will. I will do it.
Okay.
If you made yourself watch this, I will make myself watch it. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I don't do that to the homies. But yeah, if you guys want, please check out Jujutsu Kaisen. Either you read the manga or watch the show. It is, to me, a heavy hitter because I was attached, but you can find it. It's on Netflix, which I was shocked. I watch it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, season 1 is on Netflix in the US,
mm-hmm.
but season 2 is only on Crunchyroll right now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a great anime. You have to make sure you're into things like this. If you have a preference in anime, again, it's like I will watch Full Metal Alchemist for Tabii, but if she ever asked me to watch My Hero Academia or fucking One Piece, I would tell her absolutely not. Could not,
could not, fuck off.
Could not pay me. I mean, one of my good friends, I'm not going to say his name to keep his stuff private, loves One Piece. Like, it is his soul, his life, essence. It's everything. And he's always like, Caitlin, watch fucking One Piece. And I'm just like, no.
There's a reason it's so popular for so many people.
My sister has watched all of it. She stopped recently because she's like, I'm just done. It's just too much, but I loved it. I watched the live action of it, and I started watching some of the anime. It's not my thing. It's just not... a hot take, I don't like pirate shit. I'm not into pirates, for one. Okay. And two, Luffy, when the main character is that much of a fucking child kind of thing, I can't do it. That's why I don't like My Hero Academia. There's another big anime called Black Clover where the lead character is like a young little pubescent boy. I can't fucking do it. At least in Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji, like, he's a teenager, but he doesn't annoy me. I like him. It's the same thing
surrounded by so many adults.
And I like Demon Slayer, Tanjiro and his group. They may be young teenage boys, but they don't annoy me. They don't act like brats. And that's my thing, is like Luffy's kind of just like yeah. I don't want to break my friend's heart, but sorry guys, One Piece is just, it's never going to happen.
I quite like One Piece, but not enough to commit to all of it. Like, I would watch it. I watched the 4Kids version, the 4Kids seasons as a kid, and watched some of the remake of the dub with Funimation and stuff. But I like it, but I'm not going to, like, dedicate all my time to it.
Yeah, and I mean, there is a long series anime that I will watch that has like 1,000 episodes. That's Bleach. I like Bleach. I like the Bunkai. Love Bleach. Bleach is fun. There is a lot of filler that I do kind of skip, but I can watch Bleach. Again, it matches what I like in an anime. One Piece, I'm sorry, pirates and treasure and friendship.
I love friendship.
I love friendship, but like, to me, it's too Disney for me. And I know, like, my friends tell me that One Piece does get dark, but I'm sorry, One Piece is too Disney for me. It's like me trying to watch... Someone tried to get me to watch Naruto, and I was like, ain't no way I'm watching Naruto. I tried, I can't do it. I can do Bleach. And Bleach is like my in-between, but there's so many good animes coming out, and I'm just like overwhelmed with the amount of like, me and JS have like this stupid long anime list that I find it, like, I'll find trailers or something on TikTok or on YouTube, and I'm like, add it to the list, and now our list is like 200 fucking animes long. So we have a long list. It's like my book and game list. They just keep getting longer and longer, and I'm not doing much. Well, my book list I actually keep up with, but like my gaming and my TV shows and anime are just kind of gross at this point.
There's not enough time.
No, there's not, dude. There's not. I don't have enough time to do both. And it fucking hurts my feelings. I need more time, man. But yeah,
Let's quit your job.
I need a sugar daddy. I need a sugar daddy. Like, you can like, don't touch me and I'll call you honey and cook you dinner, but don't touch me, but pay for all my stuff. I was talking about that to my sister, because her and I were talking about, we went Christmas shopping and grocery shopping. We're like, this fucking sucks, man. It's my day off. I want to stay home in my underwear, but I gotta come to the store and buy fucking groceries to feed my ass. Like, what the fuck, man? I want to be watching anime, but I ain't got time to do that. It was just a long rant. But yeah, I need more free time. And what's funny is, when I didn't have a job for so long, when I came back from the US, like, you think I watched a lot of TV. played a lot of games. Still not enough time. Not enough time, man. But yeah, I'm glad you watched it, even though you didn't like it. I hope, I know a lot of people are going to be like, you guys didn't cover all the Jujutsu stuff. We covered what I wanted to talk about. Because
yeah, this was Kate's episode. The next episode is going to be all me.
Yeah, and it's all you. Yeah, I'm so excited. I love anime. I watch a huge range of it. There's some stuff that I will draw a line to, but I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to anime, but I do have my top tier, and they usually involve demons, curses, sometimes vampires, a whole lot of fucked up shit. I watch a lot of fucked up shit. No wonder why I'm always depressed, now that I think about it. The games I play, the shit I read, and the shit I watch, all sad as fuck.
Dude, okay. Well, you won't be that way with Full Metal.
I heard that Full Metal's sad, though.
It has a happy ending.
Okay, so, okay. That's okay. A lot of shit that I watch and read don't have happy endings, so we'll take that. We'll take that as a win then. Okay, I'll expect a happy ending. Sick. All right, Tabii. I think I've covered everything I want in Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, I could keep talking about it, but at some point it's just going to be me circling back too much. So, you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, should I say what the next episode is?
You can. Give you guys a little teaser.
Yeah, so recently on stream, I finished the remake of Silent Hill 2, and it's one of my favorite stories in fiction. It's like my favorite horror story. So I am super excited to talk in depth about the remake and the original Silent Hill 2 and talk about the game and the story, and I'm so excited.
And she's gonna be leading this one because I don't know fucking jack shit about Silent Hill other than what I've seen snippets here and there, so you guys are in for a treat. We want to thank you guys for coming out. We know we were a little late, but we should be back on track. We appreciate your guys' love and support. We will catch you guys in the next episode for Silent Hill 2.
Yay, bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to another tipsy and geeky adventure with Tipsy Geeks Unite. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
Absolutely. And remember, you can catch our episodes not only on your favorite podcast platforms, but also on YouTube. That's right. We're now streaming our episodes on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest episodes.
Make sure to join us bi-weekly. A new episode drops every other week in our quest, promising a continuous dose of excitement and nerdiness just for you.
For an extra dose of geekiness, check out the show notes for links to our individual Twitch channels. You can catch us individually streaming a variety of video games, and we'd love to have you join us.
Thanks for geeking out with us, and until next time, stay tipsy and keep on geeking.
Keep your dice rolling high and your critical hits frequent. Until our next quest, my gaming comrades, cheers.